Summer Games Done Quick is the most recent event by the Games Done Quick lot. It's a week-long marathon of speedrunning video games new and old for charity. Liam McKelvey and Mike Williams join me, Jake.
Yo.
Well, we have a very loose discussion based around something what happened. Basically, Summer Games Done Quick is the summer branch of this sort of twice yearly thing, and they have events on and they raise money for charity. This time around, they raised 2.1 million for the chosen charity, who was Doctors Without Borders. Last year, there was like 1.7 million raised. And every year, it's all over the news cycle, the 5 speedruns you must see from PC Gamer and all that lot. Who gives a hoot about speedrunning? You, me? That's the question. That's what we want to talk about. It's a broader discussion about speedrunning that's kind of been catalysed by Summer Games Done Quick. So it's not all about Summer Games Done Quick. You just want to talk about it because it's something that you're either into or you're not, really. So lads, first of all, do you watch many speedruns?
Not usually, but when they have Summer Games Done Quick and regular games done quick, I tend to watch them just because I like big events. Yeah, and it's cool. It's cool to see like this big community get together and just like you learn shit about games, like all these glitches and secrets. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, about 2,000 people attend in person, and then it's hosted primarily on Twitch, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
But then they upload all of the speedruns to their YouTube channel, which mirrors it all. And, you know, you can go on there now. There'll be like a link in the description. And there's hundreds of games. Like in the past week, I think they've uploaded about 50 speedruns, all sorts, new and old. And like you're saying, it can be pretty informative. I'm pretty much in the same boat with you there. Don't go out of my way to look at them. What about you, Mike?
If it's a record, I think that's usually when I would watch. I don't tend to go out of my way to dig stuff out, but when someone's beating a game in like 32 minutes for the first time ever or something like stuff, they're usually, you know, the people who speedrun have got such an intimate knowledge of the game and they know exactly when and where to do everything. And if it's a particular kind of challenging game or something that's got a lot of items to use, or there's a lot of depth to it in a certain way, like a Dark Souls game or Bloodborne or something, where they'll go for certain items but they'll run past others, and then it's really interesting to watch because you're like, well, why has he run past that one? Why has he gone for those blood vials to heal himself, but he's run past those, so everything's obviously pre-choreographed and they just know this run off by heart. And so in certain games, it is really, I find it quite mesmerizing, actually. It can be really good. There's
different, there's different available ways of speedrunning a game. There's like any percentage run, which means it's like a by any means necessary run. And then there's 100% runs, which is like the legacy runs, like you get everything done. Every coin collected.
No, they can be incredible, right?
They are insane. I've got a couple here. There's a Pokemon Red no glitch run, and someone does the entire Pokemon Red in 1 hour and 49 minutes. Playing the game fairly, and same with Super Mario 64. Someone gets every single star in the game in 1 hour and 44 minutes,
which is insane. That is insane.
They're the ones that are really impressing me because it's impressive to understand how to do the glitches and stuff. Like there's the famous one with Zelda, like Ocarina of Time in 17 minutes. Now, like something where you jump through a wall, and I think you go from the first dungeon to the very last dungeon straight away. But to me, I don't know, it doesn't seem as impressive. I mean, it's cool to see people utilizing the glitches, but a lot of the people that are doing it aren't the people that created these glitches. They've just watched tutorials online to do it. So I'm more interested in seeing people that make these metas and make these like glitches, if it's going to be a glitch run. If it's just going to be a regular old run, just seeing people absolutely smash it. It's like that Pokemon one then, an hour 49. There's got to be some RNG involved in all that, hasn't there? When battles
like all the different wild Pokemon coming in, when they're going to appear in the grass, all that.
Yeah, it's insane. And I don't know, it's something that we haven't spoken about in the office really, and it's kind of on the rise. Like esports is a thing, and speedrunning is something that every year the audience seems to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And it's just, this seems to be the biggest one. 2 million raised for charity is pretty impressive.
There's many reasons for that, isn't there? I mean, the fact that you've got these kind of platforms like Twitch and YouTube, where it's really easy to share the experience of people speedrunning while running their flipping Twitch chat at the same time. Now that is some impressive stuff, man. Thanking someone for donating bits while you're taking down a really tough boss or something. That's incredible. So the fact that it's really easy to share is got to be a part of it, and the fact that people like want to, the way you play games, a lot of people these days will just play 1 or 2 games and they'll stick to those games, and if they really want to drill down and get into the nitty-gritty of the game, there's no better way to do it than speedrunning and watching someone do it. And most of them will do tutorials on how to do it, or they'll do some kind of guide, or they'll walk you through exactly what they're doing while they're speedrunning it. They'll say, now I'm doing this, now I'm doing this, now I'm doing this, this is why I'm going for this is why I'm doing that, just to explain as they're doing it why they're blasting through the game in that particular way. I think the sharing thing is the big part of it, and I think that might be why it's taken so much traction.
That's definitely what makes Summer Games Done Quick an event. Normally it's like Liam, you probably would have seen a couple of these kind of awkward streams where the guy who's playing the game will just not talk at all,
sits in like dead silence,
and it's somebody else behind them who's also like a speedrunner commentating on what's happening.
It's usually like their friend who's got like an iPad full of notes just describing their method, and
it can be at times a little bit tough to watch when it's like that, but then you get some people like Zeus, the guy who did the Bloodborne speedrun, who's like quite charismatic,
excellent,
and he's managing to, like you say, manage his Twitch.
It amazes me like how they're able to keep their minds so focused on the game while delivering very in-depth commentary at the same time.
I was thinking about that.
The dedication and the focus is unreal on some of these people.
Yeah, and the fact that Twitch chat is like live as well, so they're never going to be able to predetermine what people are saying or if there's going to be a donation, when that's going to happen.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. There's a particular thing in Bloodborne, Dark Souls, where if you get inside your own head, you could cause problems for yourself. So maybe it might have even been a bit of an advantage to just not overthink it, have one half of your mind on your audience, people watching, and and keeping them entertained, and the other half on playing the game. Maybe that would kind of help you take the pressure off a little bit or something. Maybe it works for some people.
Maybe. Before I move on to asking you guys about speedrunning or the quickest you've taken, do you want to deliver you a little fact? One for the trivia heads out there.
Yes.
The first ever speedrun was on 1977's game Drag Race, or Dragster, no relation to RuPaul. This is like a car game. And it was set by Todd Rogers, which was 5.51 seconds.
That's such a drag race name. Such a dragster.
I remember Todd Rogers.
This guy was in the news recently, wasn't he?
He was, because he's actually been exposed by computer scientists for lying.
Yeah.
Because there was no internet proof. He was actually also, by the way, the first ever professional gamer, the first one to ever be paid to play games.
He sounds like a hotshot race car driver, Todd Rogers.
Yes, yeah. He sounds like a baddie in a 90s film or something, doesn't he? But yeah, so that's a little fact about speedrunning. They're the first one, don't know, just for the pub quizzes and that.
No, that was good. That was good.
But what about you guys then? When it comes to games in general, let's forget speedrunning for now, but just moving through a game speedily. When you get a game, especially like when you're like us and you've got lots of games to play all the time, we have to try and keep on top of things. Do you spend time getting bogged down in side quests? Do you just rush to Golden Path? Do you skip cutscenes? Because I know a couple of people that do that. My brother actually skips cutscenes even the first time through, the fucking heathen.
Well, that stings.
And he won't do anything like side quests, anything like that. It's weird. What about you guys? Are you into trying to get the game done first? Does it matter if you're the first one in the office?
No, not really, because even I will only start skipping cutscenes and stuff in a game if I absolutely hate it. And that sounds weird because most people would probably just stop playing the game, but I have a thing where I have to see it through.
Yeah.
And if that means skipping cutscenes, I'll do it.
I get that. I think as well, like maybe it'll win me over in some way by the end, even if I'm not enjoying it.
I'm the same.
If I haven't immediately noped out in the first couple of hours, I usually will play it through right to the end. And I do nope out a lot of games. Like if I'm not having it, I'm just not having it. But I will give it a chance. But I don't speedrun. Like I don't, or not speedrun. I really take my time. I really like to stop and look at the scenery and like take screenshots. And I'm that much of a loser. I just want to look at the scenery and listen to what the characters have got to say. And even when we're co-op in like Divinity Original Sin 2 and stuff, I'm like, oh man, I want to listen to this, but do the guys want to listen to the dialogue? So I'm trying to do this careful balance of listening and skipping through the dialogue. I actually really like to take my time. But Liam, you actually tried to play Resident Evil 7 pretty quickly, right? You played it like three or four times through already.
On my first playthrough, I took my time. I went after all the collectibles, just tried to get everything I could. But then because I always like replaying the Resident Evil games because they're sort of designed like that, the almost puzzle-like maze of the like mansion and everything like that. But yeah, it's just like every game I play through more than once, each subsequent playthrough I try and get faster and faster as I go through it. And yeah, I managed to beat Resident Evil 7 in under, I think it was 4 hours, and you get the...
Which is pretty quick considering you're not actually speedrunning it. You're not learning the run off by heart.
No, I'm not like trying to find glitches and the most optimal path through and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just a simple thing of getting better.
Don't you? Yeah, I can't. Is it 4 hours? You get
a circular saw weapon, which is kind of like a chainsaw, but you know, it's like a power tool or whatever.
Yeah, right.
And it does like really high damage to enemies, but you get it for beating the game in under a certain time.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was a trophy or like an item or something like that.
There is a trophy as well for beating it in under 4 hours.
Oh, there you go. So they kind of incentivize a little speedrun now with that game. That's a game that can take you 10, 12 hours on the first run, but you could easily do it in probably like 2 or 3 hours. In fact, I didn't look at any Resident Evil 7 like official speedruns, but I reckon there's people that would have done it, you know, really fast.
Very quickly, actually,
I was going to ask you guys, you know, just to close off, if you, and I'll open this up to the chat, anyone that's listening, by the way, let us know what you think about speedrunning in general. If you have ever speedrun a game or tried to, and then this question to everybody, what game do you reckon you could do a speedrun of? What game do you think you know the most about that you would be confident? Because for me, I reckon it would probably be Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
I reckon Metal Gear Solid 1 and probably Resident Evil 1 and 2. I know those games like off like the back of my hand, really.
It's what game you love the most, isn't it, really? It's what game could you spend the most time with? Because the people who proper speedrun, who really go for the records and stuff, they're in it for thousands of hours. So it's got to be a game that you want to spend thousands of hours in. It'd be difficult for me to pick, but I would probably want to do something like Bloodborne, even though it is difficult. I would want to... I could find enough variety and enough reason to keep playing it for that long. Yeah. Unlike most other games. Even some of my favourite games of all time, like Knights of the Republic or something, I don't know if I could try and do that game quickly, because it's not a quick game. It's not a game that you can do quickly.
There's a lot of dialogue, gates and stuff like that, isn't there?
Yeah. And it would do it a great disservice. Whereas I think because challenge is such a big part of Bloodborne and Dark Souls that you know, you feel like you're still playing a game in some way the way it's meant to be played. You're still like overcoming it rather than, you know. So yeah, I think Bloodborne, although it would be really hard.
Well, I think that's something we haven't discussed before. Speedrunning, it's something that people have asked us to speak about before, like esports. I don't think we've even answered any questions about it in the podcast. So there we go, guys. That's what we think about speedrunning. Who gives a hoot about it? Hopefully you now understand. Kind of us. Kind of not. Cheers, Liam. Cheers, Mike. Thanks very much for chilling with me. And yeah, I'll try and speedrun this outro. So remember to let us know what you think in the comment section below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new around here. See you in the next video. Bye bye bye.
Boy. Pneumonia ultra microscopics illy volcano conisosis. I know that was wrong, but